Okay, Bukola, let's get started with, we've not, this paper, I'm happy they're back. Nigerian News Direct is where we're getting started from. I'm sure that everybody's going to be talking Benue, so we may just have to skip a few. Nigerian News Direct, over 6,000 displaced, dozens hospitalized in Benue massacre. That's according to the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, as Tinubu postpones Kanu trip to visit Benue on Wednesday, which is today. It's also say PDP ACF, that's Arawa Consultative Forum, they cry killings demand urgent overhaul of security strategy. So on the page 3 of the Nigerian News Direct's paper, you can get all of the details as to what they are talking about, but it's something you're really familiar with. And I hope that, Bukola, when the president visits Benue today, I do not know. I need to find out, but I was hearing that certain people were arrested during that protest for whatever reason. I think they should be...
wanted to take advantage, hijack the protest. That's what I read.
Well, that is the allegation against them. Please, whatever has to be done to find out whether indeed there were elements that wanted to, cause trouble. If there are no elements that wanted to cause trouble, just peaceful protesters, Mr. President should give a clear order they should be released. Because the people that we should be arresting are the cowards and criminals that are killing people. We haven't had them Look, in my view, as far as I'm concerned, the Nigerian state has to step up and stamp its supremacy and authority. There is no way you will convince anyone who is rational, who is discerning, that people can constantly come and kill people and go without the complicity of the state. It's not possible. We are that sophisticated that we know what to do, we know where they move, we know what to do. So that's why I totally agree with the CDS that saboteurs, even within his own hierarchy or within citizens, I mean civilian population or military, there is no way you have hundreds of people, tens of persons, invade a community, carry out attack for 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, and leave, and there's no complicity of the state. It's not possible. And
it's not enough, Jeffrey,
it's not possible.
to continue to
that has to be tackled.
That there are compromises within the military, and there are supposedly suggestions that there are politicians who are also sponsoring militia in Benue State. If these are credible dimensions to the insecurity challenge, the big insecurity challenge in Benue State, then they should be investigated, and we should get to know the faces of these individuals should be uncovered, prosecuted, tried, and jailed. I mean, we're talking about the very precious lives of innocent citizens who are often attacked unprovoked in their homes.
All of these guys...
This is darkness, intense darkness that, continues to brood over the people, and needlessly so, in our communities. So
if you
we should stop making suggestions that do not lead us anywhere. We should take action.
If you kill mindlessly, like we see people being killed, you should go to court, be jailed for life or sentenced to death according to our law. All of this repentant, whatever, it's not acceptable. Because I have the next paper.
Speaking of which, the next this morning is the New Telegraph newspaper. The New Telegraph newspaper takes a brief departure from the insecurity challenge in Benue to politics. Look at this, 2027, Tinubu at Crossroads over Shettima, under pressure to drop VP. And there are a few insights from the riders. Ribadu, Barrow, Yari, Dogara on the cards. Reports of NSA's endorsement entirely misleading. That's ascribed to Adamawa APC. And of course, the last of the riders says, Northeast APC's protests political karma, says Labour Party. Of course, that came through from the presidential candidate of the Labour Party, who was reported to have responded to what transpired in the Northeast just days ago, during which there was an APC summit, and the vice Chairman Northeast decision to announce the endorsement of President Tinubu for 2027 as the sole candidate of the APC drew the ire of participants at that event, who began to protest, and efforts of the Borno governor to calm frayed nerves, failed until the national chairman of the party took the responsibility to announce the names of both the president and the vice president. But of course, the national chairman, national chairman Northeast of the APC has since clarified, saying that the announcement of the president as the sole candidate of the APC without the announcement of the name of the vice president was not to exclude the vice president, saying that indeed it is one ticket and it is a joint ticket of both candidates. But rumors prior to this time had emerged that there were possibilities that the party intended to drop the vice president, and indeed those who were protesting at that time came prepared, to know what exactly was going to happen. So is there a rumble within the ranks of Northeast APC? Of course, this will unfold in the coming days. There's more on the front page of New Telegraph.
It's the president's prerogative as to who is going to run with. But I know where they are coming from. This is part of pressure to say, you can't look away from us. After all, as a matter of fact, if you look at the data from the Northeast, Borno played a key role in helping you. I think PDP won a couple of other states. Borno was won by APC. So it's a president that would decide he's running it after he gets the ticket. But the pressure is good, because this is what politics is about. You have to negotiate your way into power.
Well, while the conversation on politicking is ongoing, which many are wondering about the appropriateness of it all amid the huge insecurity challenge, Benue is on fire. Let's remind APC Northeast, and take a look at the story beneath the big picture on the front page of New Telegraph. Massacres. Time to act is now. Usman Danfodio's jihad didn't conquer Benue. That's ascribed to the MBF. And the MBF, by the way, should be the Middle Belt Forum. There are some writers there that could give us an insight into who's speaking. Says Tinubu's visit shows he cares. Act decisively on Benue Plateau killings. That's ascribed to the Pentecostal Fellowship of Nigeria. Nigerians tired of mourning condolence visits. Of course, Senator Yemi Adaramodu was saying that yesterday. And lastly, Benue Assembly urges government to implement open grazing prohibition law and residents to defend themselves. That has been coming through. Now, this headline, of course, Jeffrey, supports that theory expressed by many from, across Nigeria, not just the north now, but even the middle belt, that there is a subtle attempt, to Islamize Nigeria. And this is the reason we have an influx of foreign elements. Some of them tag them Fulani, others herders, armed herders, who are going particularly through the length and breadth of Nigeria's north central, perpetrating these attacks, killing and dispossessing people of their land. So this is also part of what should form the conversation and investigated to determine the veracity or otherwise of it.
If there are people that have such an agenda, the Nigerian state is powerful enough to stop them. Nigeria belongs to all of us. The Constitution is very clear that we all have a seat on the table. Whatever extremism you want to bring, that is why we have the Nigerian state. Whether you're from the south, you want to dominate the north, or you're the north, you want to dominate everywhere, or the south, it's not going to happen. Nigeria belongs to all of us. Let's go to the next paper. This, Nigeria, is the next daily we're looking at. I think two things I want to look at. We've talked about Benue. This is bloody Benue. This madness must stop now. Christian Council charges Tinubu to declare emergency on insecurity as presidents and senators visit grieving communities. But since we've spoken about that, it's going to be part of our conversation today. Let's get to the other ones. President flags of INEC HQ, that's headquarters annex, commissions Abuja bus terminal. So you can see the picture of the president, Nyesom Wike, Deputy Senate President, I think the Speaker of the House of Representatives, as well as the INEC chairman. This has gotten a lot of people talking about what this is really all about. In Nigeria, whatever is done can be looked at from a political lens. I wouldn't know whether INEC needs an HQ right now, annex right now. But I don't think this is a priority. With the greatest sense of respect to Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, who have done some incredible work in terms of infrastructure. The only problem I have with Nyesom Wike and the FCT administration is the transparency that we're asking for in terms of documents and line items of their budget to see whether we can justify 39 billion naira to use in the renovation of an international conference center. That money is too much by every stretch of imagination. But it's, exchange rate has played its role. The president has taste. That is not the question we ask. Bring the document, Honorable Minister. Publish your budget online. Let all of us access that budget and scrutinize. That's why I will commend Lagos State, for instance. If you want to find out a few things about Lagos State budget, you can go and find out and question. That's why there was a furore about some items in the Lagos State budget at some points about some expenditure that were made. Well, if there is a site or there is a place we can find a line-by-line breakdown of the budget of the FCT, I don't know it. I would like to know whether it exists so that we can also look at the spending of the FCT with all of these projects being done. Fantastic projects being done, but the cost, we have a lot of questions to ask. But for this INEC headquarters, I don't see the need. If we're complaining about paucity of fund prioritization of projects because of the monies we're trying to manage, INEC headquarters is not what Nigerians need. Now, even if you ask FCT residents, well, it's not an FCT property, it's a federal federation, because INEC is all of us. They manage our electoral system. So that's why Nyesom Wike, the FCT minister, is getting a lot of flags. And it's totally understandable, because this will be misconstrued to say, oh, they are trying to now build a facility ahead of 2027 election so that the system can be subverted by the ruling government. These are the optics that such things like this send. So for me, besides that, why is it important to build INEC headquarter annex right now? I think it's totally a misplaced priority in my view. But he knows better. His people can explain and tell us exactly what this is all about. But more importantly, please, FCT, Honorable Minister, with the greatest sense of respect, we want to see line-by-line breakdown of your budget. 1.7 trillion is not a joke. Let's know what you're spending these monies on, so that where you need support, we'll support you. Where we need to critically look at your budget and criticize you, we'll know exactly we're speaking to figures. Thank you.
Yes, indeed. And from here, we'll wrap up newspaper review segment. Don't forget our question of the day. Should a state of emergency be declared on Benue State following this concern about incessant killings of people? So should a state of emergency be declared in Benue State? Send us your thoughts via email, WhatsApp, and hashtag CTV Morning Brief on X. We'll amplify your thoughts later on. And so after this time out, we'll begin with our first conversation, which is on the Court of Appeal ruling from days ago, dismissing APC's bid to relist its case on the October 2022 local government election in that state. What are the implications, particularly amid the continuing contention of the 30 local government areas, the management, the leadership of these local government areas in Osun State? So stay with us for that conversation. We will be back shortly.